Hello goddesses, hello, welcome. As you can tell, there's something a little bit different about the quality of this video, and not only that, the name of my channel has completely utterly changed, and I'm going to dive into that. So ultimately, welcome to Goddess Next Door. And if you are coming from Pole Goddess 94 or Pole Goddess Journey, it is now Goddess Next Door. And I'm going to be talking about my rebranding process and why I decided to change my name, even changing my hair. I just want to sit here and say, for one, there has been a version of myself that I've been longing for, and we are finally here. I'm going to stop yapping, and we're gonna dive right into this video. If you've been here, I've gone by Pole Goddess, and I'm officially retiring that name. It's an end of an era, okay? It's an end of an era. I'm 30 now, and I'm like, this is the youngest that I'm ever gonna be, and I am not going to wait and put off any longer on who is it that I want to be in this world. So point blank period, I literally had a moment with myself. 13-year-old version of myself is so happy and proud. But not only that, it's just like you are finally looking in the mirror and looking at yourself as the person that you have always wanted to be. But with that being said, this video is about rebranding. If you are someone that is on a journey to rebranding or figuring out what is rebranding, I'm here to share my guidance with you goddesses on how I went through my rebranding process, because it did not take a couple of months. When it comes to the hair specifically, I feel like it took like 3 years for me to finally do this, and ultimately changing my name and all that and more. So anyway, let's dive into it. So the first one, I am going to be looking at my phone. What made you feel like it was time for a change? To be honest with you goddesses, I have been feeling like changing for quite some time. I feel like last year I really felt that strongly, and I was kind of doing that on my Instagram. It was time for me to make a serious change last year, and that was in 2024. But coming into 2025, I'm like, it's really solidifying in me that I'm like, okay, I'm ready to really make this change. But it did take time because I didn't know what to call myself. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go. So the next thing that I have on my list, how has your mindset, content, and goals evolved? If you have not noticed on like my videos on my channel, the way that I've been editing my videos and the quality of my videos have definitely shifted and changed, and they have definitely evolved. This is like my second year on YouTube and being a lot more consistent. But when it comes to my mindset, I feel like I'm being very intentional about everything that I'm doing as I move forward along on this journey with content. I'm sorry if you hear my family in the background. And overall, my goals are just being authentically myself, being who I want to see in the mirror. That's one of my biggest things. I do want to sit here and say, when it comes to the rebranding process, please remember that this is going to be an emotional process. I have been grieving for the last 2 years. Girl, the last 2 years have been insane. Like, my life completely took a complete different turn.
Why are they so loud right now?
Going back to what I was saying, the last 2 years, I went through a whole process where I lived in Los Angeles for damn near 10 years, and I came home in 2023. That was a whole process that I've talked about here and there on this channel, but overall, that was already the first magnitude to my emotions of grieving of my old life and also this old version of myself. Then for 2024, I went through a whole healing grievance process where I was grieving my old life, I was grieving my old self, I was grieving all of these things. Honestly, now that we're in 2025, I'm in a way better situation in my life, and it was way overdue for me to come home. There were so many things that I forgot about myself. You are going to go through an emotional process and a grievance when it comes to your old self, and when you go into blossoming into your new self, which is your rebranded self. And I want to make this clear for number 2, that it will take time. Take your time when it comes to the rebranding process. So like I said in the beginning of this video, that it can take months, but it can very much take years when it comes to the rebranding process. I think when you hear rebrand, you might think of brands. Goddess Next Door is my new brand and all that and more, but it's me. Like, I'm rebranding myself when it comes to my mindset, when it comes to the way that I move through this world and the way that I look. And internally, externally, that's all gonna take time The next thing that I have on here is how long have you been thinking about this shift and why you waited? There was a lot of things that happened when I was living in Los Angeles and when I became like pole goddess. Been like almost 5 years since I started that brand and all that and more. But I want to make this extremely clear. This shift happened, I want to say, in kind of 2022, 2023. I just kind of felt a disconnect from the name pole goddess, and there's so many layers to this that I'm not going to get into unless you goddesses want me to get into, but I'm not going to, where I just kind of felt like it's the end of an era, like that was in my 20s. The name pole goddess just one day hit me in the face. As I rebranded myself, I thought about this for quite some time. It didn't come to me until like one day I was like, yeah, that's the name. But I kept trying to figure out what name I wanted to go by. The reason to why I waited so long in particularly is because I was kind of unsure in certain ways, but I think financially and mentally I just wasn't in a place that I can do it as I feel like authentic and genuine as I am now. The moment that everything clicked when it came to my name, the way that I want to go about like my aesthetics or whatever, definitely the end of March is when everything like clicked in 2024 in September. I remember that's when I changed my name to like Pole Goddess Journey, I believe, and that was already the transition. That was already like the baby steps that I was going into making this shift in this change. Now I'm getting into number 3, where it's choosing the right name. You have been following Pole Goddess Journey. That has been my name for the last like year. That was kind of the first step of me wanting to actually like change my name on all of my platforms. Okay, when Goddess Next Door hit me and I was like, oh, this is the name, I want to say about a month ago, I was sitting on it for a while and I was like, does this name fit? Do I feel right to this name? And then when I actually started doing the intro and like creating the logos and all that stuff and more, I felt like this fits me more. When it comes to Pole Goddess, I felt like that was me. Like, yeah, Pole Goddess. This time around, it was completely just me talking to God in the universe. I remember last year, what should I call myself? Like, what is the name that I should give myself? It did not come. And then as of recently, it finally hit me. And that was the clear indication and sign from God in the universe. It's now time. We are now in the second quarter of the year, which is already crazy. I can't believe we're already in the second quarter. So what does this name specifically represent? So Goddess Next Door, to me, it actually like represents like, one, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. There's 2 original thoughts that came up. So one, we all have heard of the girl next door. You are the goddess next door. Like, if you ever at your house or you're outside and you see someone leaving their house and they're all dressed up and you ever think to yourself, where are they going? They look nice. And you may never like talk to them. I think to myself, like, where are they going? But I know that's my neighbor and I say hi to them. So that's why I called it that, where it's like the goddess next door. Like, where is she going? What is she doing? It's like that kind of like question vibe, but she's such a goddess. Like, she always looks good. She looks put together. I feel like for you goddesses, my channel, for you goddesses to really tap into that goddess energy where people are like, who is that goddess next door? You feel me? So number 4 is letting go of the old brand. I think the challenges that I really face disconnecting from, you know, just Pole Goddess in itself. And I feel like that all started with my Instagram page, because that page was the biggest platform that I ever have grown, where I had like damn near 20,000 people. And then I started losing followers. And as of right now, I think before I deactivated, it was at 16K. Detachment was happening, and where I was like, I have to rebuild myself, because what worked in California when there was more opportunities and there was more pole events and pole things, it was an environment and place that worked. You know what I'm saying? Moving here where there is not a pole community and there's no really anything of that nature when it comes to pole, like, I had to go through this rebranding process. When it comes to like how I felt about like really closing this chapter of Pole Goddess, I have cried about it already last year. I was a mess last year. Now I'm in a place where I'm at peace. I'm in a place where I've accepted the fact I'm okay with letting that go. Every era of your life, something has to come to an end. What was it? when you start the party, you have to know when it ends. And that really resonated with me and hit me in my soul, where it's like, damn, I did start this party and I need to know when it ends. I went through so many heartbreaks. I went through so many challenges within myself and my brand and all that and more, and I'm ready to rebuild. It is an emotional process, especially if you had a brand, but it's okay. You have to grieve. So at number 5, what's changing and what's staying? So one of the biggest things that I want to make clear to you guys is pretty much everything is going to be the same, but there are going to be small changes for sure on my channel. It's still going to consist of beauty, skincare, fitness, do yoga, and I do pole. Or for other people out there that aren't necessarily in the pole world, I want to introduce them into pole specifically, but I want it to be more fitness. That is pretty much what I'm doing as I move forward in my workouts. But ultimately, this is going to be a channel where fitness is still going to be involved, but it might not be like pole lifestyle as like big and broad as it's been for the last, I want to say like 4 to 5 years. It's going to be kind of a little bit niche to pole to an extent, as well as yoga, where I like chat with you goddesses, like self-help tips, and then like lifestyle videos. I feel like that's where that's gonna kind of be a little bit of a shift of like when it comes to vlogs and stuff. I am gonna be experimenting on this channel. So one, when it comes to my quality, I'm definitely going to record more in 4K. My camera that I've had for like, I wanna say the last 4 to 5 years, thinking about pulling out more of this camera where I wanna have kind of face-to-face chit chat with you goddesses, cinematography kind of journey. I kind of wanna do some skits, have these ideas. I'm not gonna say what they are, but I am gonna play around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? As I continue this journey, I want to have fun and kind of see how it goes and just have fun with it as I move forward on this journey. Goddesses are still gonna get the same content. The quality is just going to probably be a lot better. Try a different style of vlogging. I do love vlogs, but it takes a lot of time. I think I want to change some things up when it comes to vlogs. May not do them as much anymore, but we'll see moving forward. So at number 6, I want to share the power of evolving and growth. So why is evolving a good thing, but as well as a scary thing? Personally, I feel like with anything in life, no matter what it is, it's always going to be scary, but it's always going to be great for your growth and development. I think one of the biggest things that I can remember that was like really, really scary for me, probably going to college. I loved my college experience, but that was the first time I got to live in my own apartment. I was meeting new people and all that and more. But then when it came to moving to Los Angeles, I wasn't really scared. It was a lot of fun and it made me who I am today. When it comes to evolving and growth, when you're being negative to yourself, you have to talk to yourself as you are your friend. I think that's the biggest thing, because you can be like, girl, you look stupid. You have to fight back. It's like if you have a friend, I don't play about my besties. If somebody's coming for my best friend, I would be there for her. And that's pretty much the same advice that I have for myself. There's a version of myself that's like, oh, that's stupid, girl. You look a mess. You look this. You look that. Guess what? I'm trying. And if anyone that makes fun of you for trying, they're a piece of shit. And I said that with my whole ass flat ass chest. It's the truth. But even to yourself, you are always going to be your worst enemy. And you got to check yourself. You're going to go put that Becky in the corner of your mind in the trash or something.
Do something about her.
But my thing is, you need to do it scared. And that's the biggest thing. Again, I'm at this big age of 30 and I want to do everything that I want to do. And I'm not taking no for an answer. I don't know how I'm going to do certain things, but it's not up to me. I'm leaving it to God. I'm leaving it to the universe to figure out all the other things. But I'm going to do what I need to do to work towards that goal actively. Along on this journey, it's a part of the journey, being scared, but also having fun. Like, you need to do it. You need to do it. You're watching this video because you know you need to do it. It's time for a change. So I have a couple of questions for you goddesses. What do you think of the new name of Goddess Next Door? Do you like the name? You like this whole new vibe? Because the vibe that I'm going for is kind of like Y2K, like a little retro. Just love the Y2K era. Like, I literally want to buy like an iPod, like my PSP, an SP and a DS and stuff, like, but I'm talking about like from the 2000s. Let me know down in the comments below if you like the name Goddess Next Door, as well as when it comes to my new name that I'm going by, which is Audie. Also, have you goddesses ever gone through a rebrand, or are you planning or thinking about it? But with that being said, I love you goddesses, and I will check y'all in the next video. Bye bye.